So I want to talk just a little bit about, I want to talk about you, I want to talk about us, AILA, and I want to talk about where we are right now. As you know, in just about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks maybe, on the 4th of July, all of us, our country, will be celebrating 250 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And in the build-up to all of this, there's been a lot of talk about the revolutionary leaders who fought our first battle against tyranny, clearly not our last battle against tyranny, and a lot of talk about the principles they were willing to risk everything for, to defend. One of those revolutionary leaders was Thomas Paine. He was one of the great sort of writers and journalists of the revolutionary era, and there's a line from him that I've been thinking a lot about lately. He said, "If there must be trouble, let it be in my day, so that my children may have peace." And I love that line because it doesn't romanticize hard times. It doesn't pretend that carrying burdens are easy. It simply says that if this is our moment to carry something difficult, then let's carry it with purpose. And that's what I see when I look out at all of you. None of us in this room have asked for the trouble we have been facing. But history has handed us this very heavy burden of defending the principles that are in that Declaration of Independence and in our principles that define this nation. Over these last, 19 months, you have carried that burden with purpose. You have carried it with the knowledge and conviction, really, that this trouble we are facing isn't just about us or our clients. It isn't just about today. It's about our future. It's about whether or not we are going to live up to the principles that gave birth to this nation 250 years ago. So what I have seen is, much like the people who were on the front lines of the pandemic or many other national crises that we have faced, in many ways over this last year and a half, immigration lawyers have become a new kind of first responder to both human crisis and constitutional crisis. When a family is terrified, when a student is their future is thrown into doubt, when critical businesses can't get the people they need to keep our local economies working, when the government just stops making any sense, you are often the first people that get the call. You are the people who step up and step in. You try to make sense out of the chaos. You try to restore order where you can. You are the people who stand between your clients and the full force of a system that seems to be operating without any restraint. It's brutally hard work, and it takes a toll. And yet, day after day, you keep showing up. You keep standing up for your clients. You keep standing up for your communities. And you keep standing up for the principles that are supposed to define this country. So that's what I see when I look out over this room, because that is who you are. Here's the good news, and here's hopefully part of the reason why you are here today. What makes this community amazing is that you're not alone. None of you should have to carry this burden alone. AILA is here, and we are here for you, not as a brand or a slogan. It's a support structure, a source of tools, of information, of advocacy, and perhaps most importantly, community. So let me say this as clearly as I possibly can. In this struggle, AILA's first priority is you, because our members are our superpower. You are our superpower. Every single person in this room has played a role in building this community. You built it with your expertise, you built it with your leadership, you built it with your generosity. And my job, AILA's job, is to make sure that we are here for you when you need us, to provide you the information and resources you need so that you can keep doing the amazing work that you've been doing. I'll admit, like you, AILA can't do everything everywhere all at once. We've got to prioritize. We're going to have to be strategic. But I can promise you this. Every person on the AILA staff is committed to doing everything we possibly can to support you in this fight. We're looking for new ways to be efficient, looking new ways to get you the information that you need, perhaps most importantly, looking new ways to gather information from you so that we can understand what's happening on the ground and help you. I have to say, it has been the honor of my professional life to be able to be part of the AILA staff. They are truly the most committed, most hardworking people I have ever known. So quick round of applause for the AILA staff. Thank you. But I am also in absolute awe of literally hundreds of AILA volunteers who, in addition to carrying their own burden, raise their hand and say that they will help you carry yours. They're serving on the board, they're on committees, they're in leadership in every chapter around the country, and they are there for you. Our executive committee, amazing executive committee, working every single day to make sure that when you fight, when you speak out, when you carry the burden of this moment, that you are supported by the full force of this organization, because that's who we are. There's no doubt we have challenges all around us, but there are opportunities in front of us as well. Particularly after the deaths in Minnesota, the public is seeing more clearly what we have been seeing for a very long time. They see the cruelty, they see the chaos, the disregard for the rule of law. They've seen what happens when raw power tries to ignore accountability. More and more people are beginning to understand that what they are seeing is not strength, it's overreach. It's not order, it's abuse. It's not leadership, it's lawlessness. In the face of all this violence and chaos, attitudes have begun to shift. People are rejecting the violence and the chaos. But attitudes can turn on a dime. Political winds shift quickly on immigration. We've seen it over and over again. So this is a moment where we have to act now. This is a moment that we can't waste. It's the clearest opening we've had in a long time to insist on something better. And AILA must play a key role, a critical role in showing America that there is a better way forward. So how do we do that? Well, we do what this community has always done when the stakes are high. We turn anger into action. We turn expertise into advocacy. We put forward sensible, humane policies that recognize the need for safety and security, but that don't sacrifice our rights or values to achieve it. And then we turn our experience into stories that people can't ignore. Because no one can tell the truth of what's happening in this moment more powerfully than the people in this room. You are the ones who can explain what these policies mean in real life. You are the ones who can tell the story of the hardworking, decent people who are now living in fear, of the child waiting to be reunited with a parent, of the client who's not asking for special treatment, they just want fairness and decency. You can also tell the story of how immigrants and immigration have strengthened this country, the doctors and nurses serving in rural America, the home health care and daycare workers who take care of our parents and our children, the businesses, large and small, that are started by immigrant entrepreneurs. They create jobs, they support communities, they drive innovation. These stories matter. They change minds, they build momentum, and they remind the country that immigration is not an abstraction. It's about real people living and working in real communities. But we also have to be clear-eyed about the political moment that is absolutely right in front of us. In just 4 months, the midterm elections will be pivotal in determining what the next 2 years look like, and whether we were going to have a Congress that would finally be willing to hold the administration accountable. None of us can afford to stand idly by and let someone else shape the outcome of that election. We have to find the time, we have to find the energy to shape what comes next. That doesn't mean that we all have to do the same thing, but it does mean everyone has to do something. Speak, write, organize, show up, talk to your communities, talk to your representatives, volunteer for a campaign, write a check. Support leaders who understand that there is a way to have an immigration system that is orderly, lawful, and humane. Let's turn our anger into frustration. Let's turn our anger and frustration into action. Let's make sure that when we wake up the day after this next election, every single one of us can say, I did everything I could. Let's keep fighting for our clients and our country. Let's continue to meet this moment the way this community always has, with courage, resilience, and clarity of purpose. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for making this the powerful, extraordinary community that it is.